Amy Coney Barrett. She was doing her hearings.
Mm-hmm.
And then this guy from Twitter comes on here and pulls out one of her comments about sexual preference.
Oh no.
Yeah.
She
And
turned out like that old terminology.
so,
Oh no, how
yeah,
dare she?
that ancient term that nobody's used for
Instead of saying
millennia.
orientation, she says preference.
So here's the tweet on the screen, you guys, from Kyle Griffin, at Kyle Griffin, says, quote, sexual preference, unquote, a term used by Justice Barrett, is offensive and outdated. The term implies sexuality is a choice. It is not. News organizations should not repeat Justice Barrett's words without providing that important context. 57,000 likes, probably well over 20,000 retweets at this point, because this screenshot was taken a couple hours ago. And then is the response immediately underneath it with this chick, I don't even know who, Leslie Prohl, says, she also just said, quote, the mentally ill, which is also offensive.
Well, I mean, God damn it! Like
Let that sink in for you.
Okay, so I'm gonna simplify.
This dude is eating a burrito. That's great.
The thing about it, when she says sexual preference, like, it is a preference. Like, she doesn't mean to be, like, offensive. She doesn't mean to be, like, oh, it's a choice. But at the end of the day, it is a choice. You can choose who you want to sleep with at night and who you want to have sex with.
You mean your actions are a choice?
Your actions are a total choice. Like, I prefer...
Wow, that's hardcore.
I prefer to have sex with women over men.
You're supposed to be my LGBT...
I am in the LGBT...
plug right here. That's hardcore.
I prefer to have sex with men over women. That is my sexual preference. So for her to say, like... For her to say sexual preference, I'm not offended by it. I'm like, because it is. Because I would prefer to have sex with women over men. And I think there's a lot of people in the LGBT community that would agree with me on that and not get offended by those words, because it's really not that big a deal.
I'm not gonna go that far. If I say that, I'll get canceled because I'm a straight white male. So
I know.
I'll leave that one to you.
You totally get canceled, but it's fine. Like, it's a total preference, and I even said this on Instagram. I'm like what would you prefer me to say other than preference? I'm not gonna say orientation. Like, yeah, I'm a lesbian, is like, y'all, lesbian. It's like some people would like to call me. But, I mean, I still appreciate, like, the beauty of men. I'm not a total, like, man-hating lesy. I still, like, love my men.
I loved it.
But that doesn't mean I want to, like, sleep with one at the end of the day and, like, have a family with one at the end of the day. That's just me.
I loved it because it ties into exactly what I was talking about earlier, which is the whole theme behind really everything that we're talking about politics these days, is that we're trying now. So we're seeing. You ever seen the movie The Blob from like 1980?
Yeah, I saw The Blob.
That's what their leftist ideology is. Okay, so The Blob, for those who haven't seen it, a meteor lands. It's a scientific experiment from the government. It's a little piece of slime like this big, and then as it consumes organic material, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. It just keeps expanding, right?
Yeah.
This is exactly what that is. It started out 10 years ago or whatever, where somebody posted probably that exact same tweet, word for word.
Yeah.
Just about, insert buzzword here, homophobia.
Yeah.
Was probably one of the first ones that they really started bringing out to make everything softer, make everything, easier for everybody. It keeps going. They always on the new words, transphobia. Oh, you can't say this. You can't say this.
As time goes on, you're a phobic of whatever.
As time goes on, you classify all these different ways. You can't do this. You can't do that. And now all of a sudden, it's like the NPCs just got a new update. Guys, just came out today. We got the NPC update.
Yeah.
10/13/2020. In this update, there's new terms that are unacceptable, and then we're talking about sexual preference. Because up until now, nobody's ever heard that that's the incorrect thing to say. But now you're instantly saying that there's a lot of people who agree this is widely unacceptable to say out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So
it's so widely unacceptable, but yet, you have, like, gays like me that are saying it.
That's how they get you. That's how they...
I know. And that's why I'm here to be, like, the voice of reason.
They present it with this false sense of, like, authority, where it's like, well, this has been widely disregarded. This is an outdated word. This is so offensive. Right? They just have to say that. But anyone who's following that guy on Twitter and generally just agrees with everything he says because he's just saying the monolith.
Yeah.
He's just repeating the monolith.
He's just repeating what all the other celebrities are saying.
All those people will just eat it hook, line, and sinker. Like literally today, they're going to be looking for people who say the word sexual preference so they can point them out and be like, that guy just said sexual preference, cancel him.
That guy's a homophobe.
I just heard him say it too, cancel him.
He's a homophobe, I heard him.
And yesterday, if they heard someone say the word sexual preference, didn't care. Didn't care at all.
I mean,
didn't matter. Nothing.
the people-
Didn't even register in their brain. Today, after the new NPC update, 10.13.2020, they hear that and they're gonna freak out about it like every other thing. Voyager says, we're constantly on defense to the left. The strategy is to keep their opponents tied up, endlessly addressing their frivolous accusations.
Right?
Trump short circuits their methods.
I agree. That's why they don't like him, is because he will, like, they'll give him 2 minutes to respond to something and he'll respond in like 30 seconds or less. And they can't stand that. And that's why they were melting down today with ACB. They were melting down with her because she like wasn't writing notes. Like she held up her notepad and it was freaking empty, like nothing written on
I
it.
saw that.
She was just like, this is what it is. It's nothing, like, and she kept her responses very short. Like Amy Klobuchar, you could fucking tell that she was like having a meltdown. Like earlier, I was just like, damn girl, like you're really having a meltdown over the fact that she's like answered your question in like less than 2 minutes. Like that's something to be like to praise, like
Being concise.
and being.
No, in their world, the more words you say, like the bigger your word salad is, the more meaning it has behind it.
But that
Doesn't matter if you're actually saying anything, but if it has words, it's just more meaningful.
No, that's why I like the conservatives more, because they're very just like to the point.
Well,
this is what we stand for.
It's all coming back to it all comes back to psychology. Okay, so when he says that Trump short circuits them and doesn't address their frivolous accusations, all that is, it's the masculine trait of having a strong frame.
Right.
If somebody says some
Alpha, man.
stupid stuff like saying sexual preference is offensive, the correct response to that is just to completely ignore it and act like you didn't even see it, because that's what Trump does to everything. Like remember the 2016 debates and the Rosie O'Donnell response?
Yeah.
You have had multiple accusations of you said this and this about women, that they're ugly or whatever, and he says, what does he say? He didn't say, oh no, I didn't say that. I didn't mean that. You didn't hear the context.
He just said, I was just talking about this one person.
That would be falling into her frame as the questioner. But he was like, I don't give, and it wasn't even a conscious thought. He just naturally does it and avoids it and says, only Rosie O'Donnell.
Oh, I'm only talking about this one person.
Yeah.
And that's why I like
that's
about him.
how he short circuits.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they're trying to box you in.
That's why I love him.
They're trying to box you and Trump in and make you operate within their frame. But Trump doesn't care. He just goes anywhere he wants.
Yeah,
it's always his frame.
He's just like, this is me. Like, don't like it, don't fucking listen.
Yeah, exactly.
Just that's how, like, I was.
They can't handle that. The whole success of the left's entire political strategy is reliant on you being compliant to their frame. You have to be in their frame. If the country is made up of a bunch of individual, strong-willed, assertive men and women that aren't going to fall into other people's frames like that, and sexual preference is bad to say now. Okay, well I guess I just won't say that anymore. No,
Right.
you carry on like you never even saw that tweet.
Right.
That's how everything would get
Yeah.
back on track. There you
The
go.
weekly narrative.
If you guys liked what you saw,
YouTube.com.
consider liking, sharing, and subscribing. Hit the notification bell when our new clips come out. You'll be notified also
We
when
should
our
put that
live
up.
streams.
The best way to fight tyranny is to just
Get jacked.
get jacked
And watch the weekly narrative.
and watch weekly narrative. YouTube.com/weekly narrative.
Catch us on our weekly live streams right here. See you next time. Thanks for watching.